Jason Hall, CEO and founder of Balanced Edge. We're here to present to you Ryan Malfara, who's the business and sales coach consultant and also has a spirit for adventure. We're here with the Inspired to Survive and Thrive video series, and we're proud to talk about something where human spirit is much more resilient than we can ever imagine. So I want to open this up, Ryan, and talk about your experience going to the North Pole, and that it wasn't just a trip. What exactly was this experience, and why did you do it?
Well, it's a great question. I mean, it's so many pieces there. So it was a 27-day race, 450 mile foot race to the North Pole. We started in a place called Resolute, which is just one of the northernmost settlements in Canada, and Nunavut. And we raced for 27 days, hauling a 125-pound sled in temperatures that ranged from -20 to -100, all for the coveted title of winning the polar race. And most people ask, what do I get for winning? Well, I get bragging rights. But why I did it is exactly why I'm here with you, is, why you're doing this series is all about inspiring others to realize that they have whatever they want to do, they have the skills to do it. And that we really sit back and in fear, and we don't really push ourselves to the limits as we should. And, it's all about inspiration. So I did it to inspire kids to go out there and really live their dreams, to be more active, to just understand that they have all the tools and skills necessary right in this great bodies that we have to do whatever it takes. And our bodies will adapt and go for it, and we just need to know that we can do it.
Yeah. Now there must have been a lot of prep going into this. What? Give us some examples of what went into getting ready to go to the North Pole.
Well, for me, it was rather extreme. I guess racing to the North Pole in itself is fairly extreme, so the prep was extreme. For 6 months prior, all I did was train. And my entire life was dedicated to surrounding myself with incredible coaches, incredible trainers, incredible safety experts, incredible nutritionists, incredible people that really helped me get ready. So I saw my chiropractor 3 to 4 times a week. My nutritionist dictated everything that I ate. I worked with my physical trainer 3 to 5 times a week, and then I trained on my own. I saw acupuncturists, I saw naturopaths, I had a mindset coach that really helped me prepare for the biggest challenge of all, which is the physical challenge. The mental challenge. What am I talking about? The physical challenge, we get through it, but the mental challenge was the biggest of all.
So you're saying that mental mindset was bigger than the physical?
Absolutely.
By how much?
It really, we have that saying, mind over matter, but that's absolutely the truth. Every single morning I had to sit in my tent and really just sit there and realize that I am capable of accomplishing immense things in that day. Now, was I scared every single morning? Yeah, every single morning I woke up terrified.
Can you paint a picture?
Absolutely.
Waking up in the morning looked like what? You didn't roll out of bed. So
no.
What did it look like?
Here I am. I have 2 teammates that I did this race with, and I was always the last to wake up. Every single extra second I could take in my mummy sleeping bag. I had a sleeping bag that I literally was engulfed in, and we had one area that cinched up around here to kind of keep the warm air in and the cold air out, and we'd fill it with all of our gear. So here I am, I'm in my mummy bag, I've got all my my gloves, my mitts, my scarves, my hats, everything. I'm tucking in all around me so that they stay as dry as possible and as warm as possible. It's cinched up here. Now I got a second one that cinches up around my neck. Okay, now that's actually a polar fleece bag.
Okay.
Now the rule was we wanted to cinch it tight enough that no air got in, but not too tight that I didn't wake up the next morning. Okay. So that's kind of the rule of thumb for that one, okay? And then we had the last part that just cinched up around here. So literally I've got my entire body there.
Okay.
The tent, I'm laying there and I can hear my 2 teammates. They always woke up before me, and I can hear them there, and I just lay there freezing, as warm as it might feel like. It's cold in there. And To be honest, most mornings I'd lay there and just cry and not know where I'm at and what's happening. And I've got 2 teammates in this little tent and all of our gear's there, and they're trying to wake themselves up and make our morning beverage. And then Rob, who, became a great friend of mine, he would generally be lying next to me, and Rob would shove me and say, "Ryan, time to get up." And knowing full well that I was up, but I just had to mentally prepare for what was ahead of me. What was ahead of me was 16 hours of racing generally, and then we have 2 hours of tearing down tent, 2 hours of setting up tent. It's 20-hour days, 4 hours sleep, mentally drained and exhausted. And that part of it, as soon as I flipped that switch, okay, as soon as I opened up my sleeping bag, it was like, I'm on. Okay, there's no time now to be scared anymore. I had to just realize that I had to move forward. I had to do it.
Now, most races go a couple days, maybe a week. We're talking about just under a month, right? How many days?
27 days.
27 days.
Yeah.
So was it harder, did you find, let's say you're in it 3, 4, day 5. Was it harder there at the front end, or was it harder towards day 24, 25, 26?
So I would say that right at the very beginning, we got caught in a 100 kilometer, 60 mile an hour wind storm for 2 days. Those 2 days were terrifying. We were literally locked down in our tent. We had raced for 3 hours one day and moved maybe 200-300 feet. Like, the wind was just so powerful. So those were pretty terrifying days. But I would say from day 4 to day 26 were pretty much torture. So every single day was the same. There were different challenges along the way. So at the very beginning, it's the mindset. Can I really do this? Do I have the skills to do it? Can I accomplish this? And then later on in the race, I had physical challenges. The physical challenges affected me very greatly mentally.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Yeah, okay.
Physical challenges. Now, usually you go through the race and your body breaks down. You start getting feet problems and whatnot. Now, you had some of those on the very front end, right?
So starting the race, we did 3 to 4 days of training beforehand. And in those 3 to 4 days, I developed some pretty nasty blisters on my feet. And so I started the race the very first day, and I was going into it with about 4 blisters on each foot. By the time I was 1 week into the race, I developed 12 blisters on each foot. So yeah, the physical aspect of my feet was horrible.
Can you take it one step further? Because those blisters developed into something much worse.
The blisters developed into an infection called cellulitis. And for those who aren't familiar with cellulitis, it can be a rather dangerous infection. And if untreated, the side effect, as they say, is amputation, because it reaches the bloodstream and then they have no choice but to amputate that area so that it doesn't seep into the rest of your body. And so I'm a vegan and organic, holistic person myself. Not that I preach that. I don't think it's right for everybody, but it works for me. And so dealing with this, I never imagined ever that I would have to take an antibiotic, a Tylenol, a aspirin, and anything. I haven't taken a Tylenol so much as a Tylenol in 8 years leading up to it. So at that point there, I'm they're saying you have something that you have to take an antibiotic for, and I'm going through the struggle of, okay, now this could be a great story. I had to get evacuated from the race, my feet were so bad, but then it's like, no, why did I do this? I did this to inspire others, and I did this to say we are capable of whatever we want to be capable of, and as long as we have the safety tools, the skills around us, the training. I had all the training to spend 6 months of my life training with amazing coaches, getting ready. Having people who know outdoors get me ready was, priceless. I needed that in order to function really, really well. Could I give up on that? Not a chance. So I had to break down one of my own values, if you will, of no antibiotics to make sure that I accomplish this great goal, not for myself, for the people that I knew and that I know now 2 years later that I've inspired to go out and do amazing things as a result of what I did. Had I given up because of one of my pig-headed beliefs, then the bigger picture would have been lost.
Right.
So that's, we talk about balance. You have a company called Balanced Edge.
Right.
It's about that thrill versus the risk or versus the safety, right?
Yeah,
so it's all about the balance. And for me in this particular situation, I had to weigh that balance of what is right for me, but what's my actual goal here? My actual goal isn't to inspire great people to go out and do things that they never imagined to. I needed to break down and say, nah, I got to take this antibiotic. I got to do whatever it takes to complete this goal.
Yeah.
And so that's what I did. I took the antibiotics, and my feet, the infection finally cleared up, and I was able to continue. The beauty of my diet and how dedicated I was to my own nutrition was that the rest of my body functioned amazingly. So while my competitors and while my teammates, their bodies are breaking down throughout the race, my body was actually getting stronger and stronger and adapting to where I'm at. Now my feet were my weak spot.
Yeah.
And, and I'll go back to the power of making sure you surround yourself with incredible people who know what they're doing. My feet became so bad because one person made a mistake and gave me the wrong boots. I was given a bad piece of equipment. There are boots that are warm but are made for walking and hiking.
Sure.
And then there are boots that are super warm but are made for just standing around. They have no undulation in them whatsoever.
Okay.
Those are the boots that I got.
For your hiking.
For my hiking. I'm on a 27-day race where I'm racing, moving, and I've got boots that are designed to stand still. And without having, just one person made one mistake. So I realize even more, surrounding myself with the best, regardless of the cost, is crucial. And that's why, I'm happy to sit here with you because, you're one of those best when it comes to the safety aspect of going out there doing fun, extreme things. So I get it. You're the type of people I surround myself with now, right? We go out on hikes and stuff like that and climbing, and that's the fun stuff in life. As long as it's balanced, you've got the safety aspect, but you've got the thrill. Because thrill's what's make it worthwhile.
So you have top-notch coaches.
Yep.
Top-notch advice.
Yep.
Team.
Yes.
Could you have done it on your own?
Never.
You had to have a team.
You had to have a team.
Okay. How did that go? What was that experience like?
And when I coach businesses, and I love coaching businesses, that's what I do. I work with small business owners to really inspire them to go out and do amazing things in their business. But when I'm working with them, I'm like, get rid of those pig-headed attitudes of I can do it all myself. Because you can't. I don't run my business on my own. I don't teach anybody to run their business on their own. When we allow ourselves to realize that we have great skills, but we also lack a lot of other skills, we become so much more powerful. And areas where I was weak, Rob was really strong. And areas where Lee was weak, I was really strong. And so we worked together really, really well in order to fulfill those areas that no one person on their own can fulfill everything. There is no human being out there that does absolutely everything perfectly.
Yeah.
The most successful athletes, the most successful business people, the most successful, people out there have teams.
Yes.
And they surround themselves with the best in other areas. And that's what it takes to succeed.
You're almost there.
Mm-hmm.
We're on the last day.
Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're on the last day. The light is right there. In fact, actually, the helicopter, right?
Yeah.
Is there.
Yeah.
You know it's there. You can't see it yet.
Yeah.
But you're determined to get there.
Yeah.
Was it your body that got you there, or was it your mind that got you there?
Okay, well my last day was an interesting day. Throughout the entire race, the longest distance I had completed in a single day was just shy of 20 miles, okay? Now here I am, I'm 30 miles from the finish line, and I am determined to get there today. I want to do everything it takes just to make it to the end. Now part of it was wanting to give that all right at the end just to prove that I had it. And part of it was I wanted the race to be over. I didn't want to quit, but I wanted it to be over. So if I could just race that little bit extra and make it over that much quicker, I was going to do it. So I'm 30 miles away, and in the very beginning, I thought that it was, mindset. My mindset was like, I'm doing this. But what I realized is my body became so strong that day. I was a powerhouse. I was traveling faster than I had ever traveled throughout the entire race in that last day. My teammates are trying to keep up as best they can. I led the entire day. Now, I led my team most of the time. Rob and I would switch back and forth once in a while. But I led my team that day for 30 hours straight. I didn't need anybody else to come in the lead. I was strong. I was capable. I knew it. So at the very beginning of the day, it was mindset. I had to make up my mind that I was going to do this. But as the day progressed, my goodness, it was my body. My body was strong, and it just knew what it had to do to get me there.
What team won?
My team won. Of course. Not of course, but my team won. It came down to that last pivotal decision of racing straight through the night. I landed at the North Pole at 4:55 in the morning. So we had raced right through the entire night. We beat the second place team by only 3 hours. 27 days of racing, just 3 hours. Now, if I had stopped our team and set up tent and camped out and gone the next day, we would have lost by 6 hours. Because the teardown time, the setup time, and you put a couple hours sleep in there, we would have lost by 6 hours. So that one decision allowed us to win the race. And that's what it came down to, is that every decision is an opportunity. And people get too caught up in decisions. I made the decision instantly. I wanted to go for it. And I just stuck with it. And, if I had made the wrong decision, then I had made the wrong decision. That's part of life. And I'll figure it out really quickly. But making those decisions, just taking action, that's how I live my life now. And it's how I teach all my clients. Go out there and take action. Surround yourself with people who know that the action you're taking is the right direction. One of my great coaches says, knowledge is great, but doesn't mean anything unless you know the order that it's going in. And to give you an example, the alphabet. To know all the letters of the alphabet is great, but unless you know the order that they go in, then the alphabet is useless.
Yeah.
So the knowledge is the same thing. And I surround myself with people who know what order it's supposed to go into, and I teach my clients that, and that's what makes it really great.
Nice. So this experience in itself has helped you in your business, in your personal life, setting goals, everything.
It's changed my life entirely. And now it's why I tell my clients, go out and push yourself to do something physically that you've never done before. Climb that rock, do that race, whatever it takes, just one physical challenge that you never imagined that you could possibly do. And that will completely set you free, because once you realize that you actually can do it, all those other things in your life that you were like, oh, I can do these, you will go out and do it.
Yes.
Get yourself a great team, find yourself a great coach, and all of the rest will fall into place. So yeah, it's changed my life. I went from being a 25-year-old kid wildly in debt to now a very successful, completely debt-free business and sales coach and consultant that travels the world helping people and going out there and doing great things.
Amazing. What's next?
That's at this point, at this stage of where I am, I don't know yet. There is all the opportunities that are out there, I'm open to. Somebody said to me they want to do Kilimanjaro, and I said, let's do it. So, I'm doing a triathlon next weekend, an Olympic distance triathlon, hoping that Ironman is on the horizon for me, but who knows? It's right now, it's about living life to the fullest and experiencing every single day for whatever it's worth. And whatever challenges come my way, I'm open to them. I'd love to hike through or trek through the Amazon. I'd love to do something through South America. There are so many great experiences out there, and I'm open to them all.
Beautiful. You are such an amazing example of success and taking your mind and your mindset to the next level. Thank you.
Thank
It's been
you.
a pleasure.
Yeah,
Thanks,
absolutely.
Ryan.
Thank
Okay.
you.